So I've just been on a little eBay shopping trip and picked up this Hyper MTE spares truck. So this was obviously an electric one, as you can see, and it is pretty dirty, but it's got plenty of parts that I can use as spares, including a front and rear diff, which is nice. Obviously the gearbox isn't going to be much use. It's got the old style drive shafts and pins, but I'll also have spare towers, a couple of spare shocks. That one there's bent. Hopefully the other two are alright. So yeah, there's some bits on there I can use, spare chassis as well. It is quite well used. It's quite scratched up on the bottom, but it looks to be pretty straight, which is good. Also came with some wheels. Unfortunately, a couple of the hexes are rounded out and some of the tyres are ripped, so they're not going to be any use, unfortunately. It would have been nice to have some spare tyres. There's a spare hub there as well, and another universal drive shaft. And then finally I've got a spare shell, which is nice. It doesn't have the bars on the back, and obviously it hasn't been cut out for the nitro engine, but you can see there is the indentation to cut it out, which is fine. So I've now got a second shell, and it's the blue one, so it looks okay. It's got a bit of tape on the inside, but it's not too bad. So yeah, it's not a bad parts haul. Should save me a bit of money in the future on bits. And I've also got an electric gearbox, which is quite nice, and ESC stand, so if I ever do go electric, I have almost a full conversion kit there. I just need battery trays. Not that I'm planning to, but you never know, 2 or 3 years down the line.
So I've just got a list of the parts that were on the Hyper MTE roller or parts car that I bought. It was about 2/3 of a truck. So down here in the column I've got a list of all of the part numbers which the truck came with that are current on the MT Plus. Any discontinued parts I haven't included there over here. Then the quantity that I have of each of these parts, because obviously when you type in these parts to buy them new, sometimes they come in pairs or a set. Obviously I only have 3 or 1 of some of these things. I also haven't included any of the links or turnbuckles, because some of them are bent and I've had to bend them back to shape. So as you can see in this column, we've got the cost to buy a single item of this part number brand new, and then the total, which is basically this quantity column times the cost to buy new column. So you can see the total of the parts that I got on this Hyper MTE parts roller. If I was to buy all of them new, it'd be 350 quid, which is obviously you wouldn't do. So I mean, realistically you might not use half these parts. Some of them are used as well, bent slightly, worn out a little bit. So even if you only use half of these parts just for your wear and tear, you still end up with £178.82 worth of parts, which is pretty good. So I think I got a good deal there. I paid about 90 quid for these parts, so it's almost double the value. Obviously I've had to take them all off, clean a few of them up, unbend some of them, but yeah, you've basically got double the amount of money in parts that you'd spend if you were to repair the truck with new parts, which is pretty good. I also got a spare shell. I did get a spare set of wheels and tyres, but on closer inspection all of the wheels and tyres are broken, so all 4 rims are cracked and a couple of the tyres are ripped as well, so I haven't included those. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show you that it is cheaper possibly to buy a spares car, a whole car that's used, rather than buy bits as you break them. So we'll see how that works out in the future, I guess. Anyway, that's it for this one. Goodbye.